Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, here with yet another wrestling review. I am of course joined by my roommate and faithful cohort, Joe. Say hi, Joe. He finally forgave me for that thing. Anyway, so it's Monday night. It's the Monday night before the Royal Rumble. 6 days left. And let's see how Raw leads up to perhaps to its biggest Royal Rumble match to date. Let me put up my notes, and we begin. And Raw kicks off with the World Heavyweight Champion Edge coming to the ring. As most of you know, or if you don't ever not been informed, Edge will be facing against The Miz in a champion versus champion match, sort of a build-up to their respective title fights this Sunday. So Edge gets up there, and he says that he's tired of waiting. He's not a patient guy. He's tired of waiting in line at the supermarket, and he's also tired of waiting on whether or not Michael Cole will stop being a tool. Good one, Edge. So he decides he wants to face Miz right now. Michael Cole, being the tool that he is, gets an email from the Raw General Manager. As everyone knows, the Raw General Manager and Edge don't have a good history together. Think Austin versus McMahon, except with a computer. But anyway, the Raw General Manager decides to have a impromptu sort of exhibition match for the champ. He's to face 3 combatants. He's to face 3 people, and whoever of the 3 people throw him over the top rope will get the coveted the number 40 spot in the Rumble. Who are the 3? Former World Heavyweight Champion Jack Swagger, the Chosen One Drew McIntyre, and Tyson Kidd. Needless to say, this was a squash match as all 3 get thrown over the ropes. It was pretty interesting, and it was a kind of a squash match. Then Edge decides that he wants to make a repeat of his Slammy Award-winning Freak Out of the Year by going after the Raw GM computer again. Cole decides to run interference to protect his beloved butt buddy, the Raw GM, when the new Nexus comes out. As you probably saw last week, as you probably saw last week, a new member of the new Nexus was revealed in the form of Mason Ryan, or as I like to call him, Welsh Tista, because he's the Welsh Batista. Welsh Tista says that that like all the others, he has faith, and that their mission this Sunday is to make CM Punk the last man remaining in the ring to become the new #1 contender and get a shot at whichever championship he wants at WrestleMania. Right after this, we get Wade Barrett and his new group, the Corre, coming to the ring. Can anyone say Stable Wars? Right. So they get into the ring, and pretty much Wade says that the carbon copy of Nexus is that piece of trash that's sitting in front of me, referring to the new Nexus. And both sides have a stare down. And for some odd reason, Wade gives the mic to Ezekiel Jackson. Now see, everyone says that Ezekiel Jackson is a monster, and if built right, he could take down the Undertaker Street and have him fight, but he's not there yet, especially with his mic work. It's sloppy and very amateurish at best. So stay off the mic for now, Big Zeke. You're not there yet. So then him and Welsh Tista have a little stare down. With Welsh Tista about an inch or 2 bigger than Zeke. Then the Raw General Manager chimes in. He says that he will not what does he say? He will not have this kind of activities. That if SmackDown superstars are going to start jumping over to Raw, then they'll have to play by his rules. And with Teddy Long still unconscious after being attacked by someone, he's calling the shots. So tonight, it will be CM Punk versus Wade Barrett, and the loser who loses this match what I'm saying is, whoever loses, that person and their group will be ineligible to compete in the Royal Rumble. And to make things even more spicier, the special guest referee is someone who really doesn't like either group. That's right, John Cena. Yep. So it's a pretty well hyped match. And while Wade does make a good argument, the new Nexus just looks better. They've got more people, and of course they're led by CM Punk. Hail Punk. All right, let me check my notes, see what was up next. Alrighty. Oh yes, I forgot. The next match is a sort of a continuation from last week. It's a tag match between the team of the Sex, John Morrison, and Mark Henry, aka Hey Kool-Aid, versus the Lobster King, the Lobster Head himself, King Sheamus, and the finest thing in life, Alberto Del Rio. Wink. This was a good match for all four men, seeing as how, but this is a very good match for both Morrison and Del Rio, who I've been on a lot of wrestling forums, and I've talked to a lot of people, and when I've asked them who they think could win the Royal Rumble, Del Rio and Morrison always are at the top of the list. You got these two young guys who've had some great matches. They've got great heel and face heat respectively. They are magnificent in the ring. I will admit Alberto is a little bit better than Morrison on the mic, but that can change. But overall, these two are really the dark horses to win the Royal Rumble. My personal pick, I pick Morrison, but I would not be opposed to Alberto Del Rio winning. You never know. So overall, the match was just basically to build up for the Royal Rumble. But Del Rio wins in the end with his signature cross arm breaker, which makes Mark Henry tap pretty fast. For strongest man in the world, he taps pretty bad. Alright, moving on. Oh, and during the match, surprisingly backstage, Michael Tarver was back there. For those of you who don't know, Michael Tarver was one of the original members of the Nexus before he was summarily drummed out because he lost to Cena after Cena joined the Nexus. And I've seen him around, first on SmackDown when Teddy Long got jumped and was rendered unconscious, and now he's just been prowling in the back, and he's been getting a really creepy vibe, and it's working for him. If they're doing something with Tarver, good on him. He has a very creepy, like, serial killer vibe about him. Like he's looking for his next victim to kill. But I hope they make it at least interesting for him. The next match is between Melina and Natalya for the Divas title. I missed this match because I had to make some popcorn for my family. Most of it got burnt, but easy to say that I think that from looking at my notes from the forum correctly, Natalya retained. But oh well, I wasn't really into it anyway. So let's move on. Let's see. Welsh Tista. Let's see. Welsh Tista. Anyway, the new Nexus was backstage talking about the stipulation for the match tonight, and talking about what would happen if he lost. Punk comes out, and he assures everyone that he'll win. Welsh Tista says in his own language that CM Punk will win. Let's see. Husky Harris then says that if Punk gets eliminated before any other members of Nexus get there, then their whole mission will be for nothing. Punk tells him not to worry, tells him to take a knee, and he gives a sermon. All hail Punk. let's see. Next up, John Cena gives a promo about his being referee for the Corre versus Nexus match later on tonight, when The Miz comes out and interrupts him. Pretty much stealing the spotlight from John. Later on, John cuts a promo about his usual, "You gonna do something about it, hit me," and the boring stuff. Miz is still really rocking, still knows how to rock a mic. The next matchup is the champion versus champion match between The Miz with Alex Riley versus Edge. Now, I will also, and of course, Michael Cole is standing up sucking his dick. I don't even see how that's possible. I mean, even some hookers off the street would say, "Damn, he's talented." But before the match gets underway, Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero come out to give some comment, to watch Edge wrestle. Now, this is a very interesting. The match was good itself between the two champions, but the commentating was great. I mean, it's the little things, like Cole basically making Miz out to be the mix of Shawn Michaels and Lou Thesz, and Dolph and Vicky saying, I don't think so.
No, you're right. Yeah, he's not really all that. Dolph is better looking than him.
Just those little things, but it doesn't stop. Michael Cole from trying to suck Dolph's dick, and Vicky's like, "Cole, stop it! I got this. This is mine." But one thing that really struck me funny was Jerry Lawler constantly calling Vicky Guerrero fat, and I kind of took offense to that because Vicky Guerrero doesn't look all that fat to me. She has lost a lot of weight. I mean, compare how she looked when she was dating Edge to how she looks now. She has lost a tremendous amount of weight. But the one line that really sold it for me, Jerry says, "Hey Vicky, what kind of dress is that you're wearing?" Vicky says, this is not a dress, these are pants." Like, and the King goes, "Oh, maybe I need to get you some new glasses, kitten." You're losing it, Jerry. So at one point in the match, Dolph trips Edge when he was going for the spear, which results in the match getting thrown out. And Miz, Riley, and Dolph beat up on Edge until Randy Orton comes out and decides to then starts clearing house. The only way the Viper can. He gives an RKO to both Dolph and A-Rai, but Miz runs away. But overall, it was a good match. It ended the way it should have, with both champions looking strong. Neither of them lost them. Edge may have won the match by DQ, but he didn't pin or make Miz submit. So there's that. It was a good one as a good way to build momentum for both champions without either of them looking bad. Oh, and just announced tonight, this Friday on SmackDown, the champions team up with #1 contenders as The Miz joins up with Dolph Ziggler to take on Randy Orton and Edge. Wait a tick. Randy Orton and Edge are teaming up? Oh my God. It's the return of Rated RKO! Yeah, that's right. They're back together again, and I pity you, Dolph and Miz. I pity you. And moving on. I'm sorry if I'm taking a little bit too long here. My notes are having a hard time loading. Let's see. Let's see. Curse this slow computer of mine. Okay, I think the next matchup is... Oh yes, it's a mixed tag team match between a pimp named Daniel Bryan, along with the Bellas, versus... Oh my God. Ted DB Blandness, Marlies, and Alicia, I'm gonna kill somebody in the ring because I can't wrestle properly, Fox. Thankfully, this match ends with Maurice getting a pin on one of the Bella twins who were bickering with each other about who Daniel liked more. This was good for Maurice. I like Maurice. She doesn't deserve to be settled with Ted because Ted's loser aura is infecting her. I'm sorry to say that's just how I feel. We get a backstage segment after the match with the Bellas feuding over who Daniel Bryan liked more. And they go into his dressing room to ask who to finally decide who he likes more. And what do they see? Lo and behold, Daniel Bryan busting slob with Gail Kim. That's right. Daniel Bryan, the ultimate pimp. Yeah. And he traded up. He went from the Bellas to Gail Kim. Because not only is Gail Kim hot, she can wrestle. Good. And so it gets a little match between... And it turns out that Bryan has been dating Gail on the sly for the past 6 months. And they hadn't told anyone anything. The Bellas get upset and they was like, well, why are you with this this washout when she never on TV? And Gail shoots back, well, frankly, Daniel did better than you did because simply for the fact that since the guest host angle dried up, you two haven't done anything. He was doing you a favor. Begin catfight. So yeah, Daniel Bryan, Pimp Daddy of the WWE. I would say Pimp Daddy of Wrestling, but that title is currently being held by the true king, the true Pimp Daddy of Wrestling, the Human Tornado. Let's see. Okay. So this might actually. This feud might actually get Gail Kim some more TV time. She really deserves it. She's a great wrestler. She really legitimized the Knockouts division. So she deserves more respect than she's been given. Although I wouldn't say she was better off in TNA right now, seeing as how TNA is all on the beautiful people. But that's another rant, another video entirely. Let's move on. Let's see. Of course. The next match is a #1 contender match for the tag team titles. I say that in quotations because the tag team belts in the WWE don't mean shit. Between the new Nexuses, Joe Perfect and Husky Harris against the tag champions Kozlov and Santino. So somehow the new Nexus get over and win clean against the tag champs. They don't job to the fucking Cobra. No one should job to the Cobra. The Cobra is a career killer. God, I mean, what do they do that? Ugh. And so the final match. So as they celebrate in the ring, David Otunga gives a celebratory speech on the mic, and then he introduces their new leader, CM Punk. So begins the final match of the night, as both the Core and the new Nexus are on hand as their prospective leaders prepare to face off, and John Cena comes out and prepares to be a referee. Now the match wasn't very good, but the psychology was good, as both Barrett and Punk try to avoid coming in getting DQ'd because they have a lot riding on this. Their dreams of going to WrestleMania, as well as the dreams of their group, are riding on this match, and they both times punch out Cena. Cena says, "Well, I'll DQ you if you touch me." Then, at one point, I wasn't paying much attention. Cena jumps out the ring, has the bell rung. He tells the ring announcer that both CM Punk and Wade Barrett have been disqualified for foul language. Fuck you, Cena. I know you're supposed to be a face and all, but that was an extremely heelish move. That was a dick move. I mean, why would you just say, I'm disqualifying you because of foul language? Yeah, if people got disqualified for foul language, Mr. Anderson would not be TNA World Champion. So thanks to Cena, both the Nexus and the Core are not in the Royal Rumble. But thank you. I can't believe I'm saying this. Thank you, Raw GM. As he can't revert. He says that while Cena did blatantly abuse his authority, he can't change the decision, but he can change the consequences. So he makes it so that Punk and Barrett and their respective groups are all still eligible to compete in this Sunday's Royal Rumble. And that Cena had to get in the ring and apologize to both men, or he is out of the Rumble himself. Cena begrudgingly gets back in the ring, gives a half-hearted apology to both men, and just starts swinging. Then the Nexus and the Corre hit the ring, rallying up behind their leaders, and both sides decide, we can fight Sunday. Let's take out Cena for trying to do that shit. Cena's like, come on, bring it on. And they start to try to jump Cena when the Big Show, leading the charge with the entire Raw locker room, jump the ring and all hell breaks loose as everyone brawls with each other. And that's how Raw ends. Overall thoughts, it was a good Raw. It was there were some good matches. There were some great promos done by a lot of people. Zeke, stay off the mic. You're not ready yet. I like Welsh Tista. He's big and intimidating, and he only talks whenever he's necessary. But I can see a little bit of promo work. With some more work, he could be a good speaker. Michael Tarver's whole stalking mass murderer gimmick is creepy, but I'm liking it. It's good. The commentating for the Edge Miz match was good, as Jerry the King Lawler realizes that fat jokes are not going to work all the time. And Daniel Bryan, Master Pimp, yeah. So it was all a good build-up for the Royal Rumble, not just for the title matches, but for the match itself, as there are a lot of potentials this year with 40 men in the Rumble. So who's going to win? Well, you know who I'm picking. Who are you picking? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Alright, so hopefully that was my Raw review, and hopefully I'll see you this Thursday as I attempt to try to watch a TNA Impact, and I'll try. No guarantees, but I'll try. So this is shintigercurl. Well, this is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, and Joe, saying see you later and wrestle on.